All right. So today's topic, I want to talk about what what are we doing all this for anyway? Um, since we're pressing into the relationship and pressing into the connection, and it occurred to me that uh, we need to talk about why why we're doing it. Like, why are you um, coming to the classes, and why are you wanting to seek more of a connection? Maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe you just like coming um, and to learn how to meditate a little bit in a different way, or to build an awareness. So the reason that we are moving in the direction of intimacy um, with our own high being, the reason that we're doing that is because that brings us into intimacy with the I am, which is who we are. So we're not just seeking um, a better life, right? The better life comes through the relationship. It comes through the intimacy and the connection. And we're not just seeking clarity, which also comes through the connection. And we're not just seeking stuff or to have our lives fixed or set on a path. So those are outcomes of the relationship. But what we're here for is to discover and build on the personal internal relationship you have with your high self, which is the divine, the I am. So each one of us, our lives are going to look different, but we're learning tools and we're getting revelation about how we can move into a deeper expression of our divine self on this planet. So we do that through connecting, and through discovering it within ourselves. So we talked about the persona or the overlay, the everything that we have absorbed from the time we're conceived up until now has created a layer of our taught concepts, beliefs, culture, family, um, right and wrong, black and white, the environment that we have spent time in, what we've learned in school and our experience there, and it's our perception of ourselves through all these experiences, and where we think we fit in the world, how we feel about ourselves, what we believe about ourselves. That is an overlay uh, that sits on top of the truth that we are the I am, and we are the divine. And um, that is always true. We came divine, we're going to leave divine, we can live here divine. That's why we're on this path, is so that we can remove the layer. We can see it, um, move through the aspects of it that are not helping us, and lift it off and live in our authentic divine self in truth. So we're on this journey to arrive more and more and more into the eternal now, the present now. And so it's not a, you know, it's an enlightenment that we gain along the way. And it is a sense, a knowing of our unity with divinity. So we have to get away from the concept that we are separate from creation, that we are separate from the divine. We are separate from the I am, that there's a separateness. We're down and over here, and way out over there somewhere is someplace we're trying to get to, or get an audience with, or spend time with, right? we are the divine, and we're coming out from under the teaching, the training, the experiences in our life that have removed the concept of our divinity, or are clouding the concept of our divinity, our divine being, so that we're living in all the stuff from all the stuff on top, and we are not living from our divine being. So we are experiencing the struggles and troubles of life, a lot of it, because we're not having access. We either don't know how. We're living in our brain, and the brain dominates because we've spent a lot of years living out of our small mind. So when we come face to face with our divine identity, then that moves through our divine essence and get into our mind and comes out in words and thoughts and pictures that we can know and understand, right? So that the mind is a beautiful gift that we've been given, but we are not supposed to live from the catalog. The mind is a catalog of everything that you've learned, experienced, and been taught. So it doesn't have the ability to be unlimited. It only has the ability to live from where you've been. It will remind you of where you've been, and it speaks in language of fear, doubt. Don't do this, don't do that. What will people think? What if you fail? All of that is the small thinking mind. The divine being that we actually are is all love. You can do it. This is great. This is the way. Walk ye in it. That is our divine essence that we want to explore, discover, and bring to the forefront, and live from that place, freed from the things that we have dragged along, that concepts that aren't um, benefiting us or allowing us to move in the freedom and the love that we actually are. So, in our journey, we come face to face with the meaning of life, right? We come face to face with who and what we are. And we have to know why we're journeying. So, each one of you has to be really clear, why am I on this path? Because then it allows the movement to continue and to maybe pick up speed, because now you have a goal or a reason right out there. um, I know why I am living the way I'm living, and I know why I've chosen this path, because it is true for me. I can't live out of my small mind. I don't want to do that. I want to be bringing my highest and best expression to the earth as long as I'm here. I want my life to reflect the divine life force that I am. That's why I'm on going along this way. And so we all have to have the idea clear for us. I am not separate from God. I actually am God. God is living, expressing through the personality and life of Audrey. Audrey's divine. We're not separated. We're one. So when we come face to face with the miracle and the beauty of our divine essence, then we begin to have a knowing. Yeah, yes, I am. I am creating all the time. So I can begin to create and move and live in line with pure love, joy, health, wholeness, abundance, um, wellness, all of that. Um, So when we interact with our connection with our self, we're interacting, we're face to face, we're on a personal level. We're not speaking at ourselves, right? We're speaking from ourselves, right? I'm talking in questions into myself, and I'm listening from myself. I'm not talking out here, and I'm not talking at myself like I don't know who I am and I'm going to get an answer back that's foreign to me. So it it makes a difference when we're growing and moving in our divinity. If we're talking at ourselves, we're not going to get the same connection, because we're expecting, we're not really expecting, we're coming from a place of separateness, from separateness. So so it's kind of like, I read a lot of poetry, a lot of the old poets and stuff, and I used to not totally connect with uh, basically this lesson that they were teaching, and they would say like, I see my lover in the garden, you know, resting. I go to them, you know, I have this powerful desire to be intimate, to plug into my lover in the garden, right? It's an intensely powerful feeling, and we're drawn in by our inner divinity into this ecstatic union. Um, and I would read that and I would be, gosh, it sounds bizarre. I'm looking into their eyes and I'm seeing God's eyes and I'm seeing my eyes, right? And they are the same eyes. And, you know, in this moment, we enter into timelessness. When we see into our soul and see the divine eyes, and that there are eyes and that we're one, we enter into this timelessness, this bliss. We see and are seen, and we experience the revelation of being one. We have to get this. you know we have to get this for this to make sense, like for our journey and our process to become intensely personal, and only us, right? Because we're each having an individual journey and creating our lives. So um, this connection is real. It's who we are. And the divine, the I am, is experiencing this connection with itself in me, right? So all of this passion, this bliss, this coming face to face, becoming intimate, then it has a sexual lean. It sounds like I'm talking about, I'm going into this garden and I must be passionate and intimate with my lover in the garden. Um, Intimacy, sex, the sexual act is a part of intimacy, but you can't really have that without intimacy anyway. I mean, you can, but you're missing the point. Um, the sexual union was given to us. We blend our life energy together and we become a single energy unit. We've drifted away from the sacred sanctuary of our bodies, and our bodies coming together, we've drifted away and into needs, physical needs being met and stuff like that. But really the whole sexual act is a reflection of our intimate relationship within our own soul, within our own soul. So it does sound sexual and it does sound erotic, because it is. Emotionally, intimately, we're one with divinity. So from this place of of oneness, we begin to have moments where we're really truly connected, really truly connected. And then our life, our small mind pulls us back into all of the stuff, the dramas and the experiences in our day-to-day life. And we begin to be back in our small thinking mind, and moved away from the connection a little bit. So the time that we set aside for meditation or pondering or sitting quietly and listening and speaking, whatever you want to call it, you're having a relationship in which you are having a conversation. We call it meditation. It's the set aside time where you're face to face with your lover, with your oneness, face to face, sharing, right? Well, recognizing that we're one. And that is so important, because then that fans the flame within our soul and our heart and our life with more of the divine love that's there to come into the space around us, out through our energy, into our day-to-day, moment-to-moment life. But when we get up from there, when we leave the garden, we don't leave alone. That's just a picture. We are one still. So the connection is, now we have to pay more attention, because now there's more noise and there's more stuff, but we're not disconnected. It's learning to listen, learning to hear. Um, and so the voice isn't here, by the way. It's down in here. Like out in here is your thinking mind, but we connect from the heart, from eternity. We connect from a timelessness space. We don't connect through our small mind, or our thinking mind. So as in all relationships, right? Um, we come together and we spend intimate time, and we get more familiar, and then we might uh, do be not as intimate, and then we come together and we're more intimate. So it follows the path of relationship, and so we enter into these moments of deep, profound connection, and they move us into deeper places, of intimacy and trust. So as we learn to listen and be just like we would with a human being that's separate from us, we come into deeper levels of connection, where we feel more intimate, and we are able to cross over into trust, right? We begin to change, because we're spending time. And we are spending time because we are delighted by this person, right? Right? Why else would we be spending time? They're intriguing to us. We want to get to know them more, like in the relationship world. So that same emotion is what drives us in to our heart. We're intrigued with the divine within. We want to know it deeper and more, right? And so the moment, when you're in a human relationship, then you're going along and you're building, uh, having fun and building intimacy and trust, and then you go about your daily lives, you go on and do your thing, and you know you may have something going on, and you turn around and they're there, right? They're there, and that moment is deeply moving, because you didn't ask them to be there, right? You didn't ask them to be there. You didn't tell them what was going on. You were just going to move through your life, and you feel in that moment, you feel the essence of that person saying, I feel you, I see you, and, I'm revealing myself to you now because this is important. Like this whatever it is important to you. And I see that. I see that, and I've chosen you over me. I've chosen to be here, and I've chosen to support you. And when you realize that in that split second where you see, "Ah, this person is here," then um, the world stands still for a moment, right? It's timeless. It stands still for a moment. You can't believe that somebody's there for you, right? That's supporting you, right? And the love moves us to transcend time and space, right? It moves us. It might just be a split second, but it's like a floaty moment that we remember. It leaves an impression, a big impression, right? So guess what? Guess what? That's the divine love in that other person, making love to you through the experience, right? The divinity in that person is reaching through time and space and touching you, your divine self. You know, this mirrors the relationship that we uncover within our soul. That's a mirror of our relationship with the one love, the divine that we are. We must discover it at that level, right? We have to. And the I am delights in these, miraculous exchanges between us humans because um, divine love is able to flow and touch us how we um, deserve and how we should be touched. Give us the experience of life that we should be having if we could relax and be a more divine and trust in that confidence and that inner power and relationship to bring the divine to us through other people, right? So we can live in this experience all the time, at least more and more of the time, if we become open to it. And we don't like go out and go, hey, you need to be there for me. I'm speaking to the divine in you to show up for me. No. We move in our life and we are provided for on every single level as we surrender into the knowing and being of our divinity. We surrender into it. I don't have to um, expect and demand from other people, right? It's going to be provided. It's going to be provided. If I'm looking in the mirror of my life, where am I right now? What do I need right now? Acknowledge it. Have the conversation and allow it to be provided. Allow yourself to be touched intimately by you, the divinity of you. And it will come through you and it will come through the divine in another person or people, right? And, we'll be moving around in our life. And this happens often in my world. I'll think, oh, this would be so nice. And then I'll just like put it aside. And then all of a sudden it will be there. And, the secrets we keep in our heart, our joys and, you know, uh, are revealed in another's um, response to the inner promptings of the divine and those loving actions. I'll be moving about in my world and I'll get this impression um, of somebody that I know and get this for them, send this to them, do this. Like, oh, get those flowers or something like that. And then I do it. I used to question, small mind would go, oh, what if they don't like it? What if it's not really the divine? What if I look weird? Like, so I just do it, right? I just do it. And, we get to the point where we just move, and we don't need the validation or the response or recognition from the other person or people. We're like divine fairies moving through the shadows, and we leave the package on the doorstep and giggle and flit off away, right? Because it's not us. Anyway, the divine is loving itself through the action. I'm listening because I have a connection that has built a relationship. So I hear, go love this person. I want to love this person through you, right? Do, do. And it happens to you too. Like it happens to you. So the relationship evolves into this beautiful, emanating field of love and joy and happiness, radiating out of us into the space around us, into the lives of people that we know and people that we don't know. We may never know. But we're open because we're okay, because we know who and what we are. We know who and what we are. Everything we need to live our life to its fullest and highest potential in divine love is here for us. It's here for us. We learn to open up to see it and receive it. See it and receive it. Move it along, right? Move it into somebody else's life, right? So we are divinity in action through the connection, through the relationship. Or we can live our human experience only and still okay. Like we're still gonna, all the love in the universe is there for us, but we can limit ourselves to our small mind experience, right? We can do that, but we're missing it. We're missing the relationship, the connection, the joy, the freedom, the knowing I'm okay. And so are you. And we're all one, right? Because it brings us back to, we're all divine, right? We're all divine. We're all one family. We look different. We've had different, we came up out of different environments and different experiences, through different parents. And so we look different, right? But once we get it, once we wake up and we're like, wow, I am a creation, and I should be creating. And what does that mean to me? And then we begin to fill up with our authentic being. And all of the time and stuff that we've done is great on this earth, but it's not who and what we are. It's not who and what we are. It's where we are and what we've been doing. Because we live in our soul in divine reflection. We're reflections of divine love, mirrors onto the earth, into people's lives, right? So this is why we are learning. And this is why I'm learning. This is why I'm sharing, because it's here for all of us. And when we begin to get it and begin to be at peace in it and begin to let go of our grip on this human life experience, we begin to have the internal bliss, the ecstasy in the union with the divine, the freedom of being loved, of being seen and known and knowing. And then we live from this space, and we join together our powerful free energy, and we begin to bring love and light and change into each other's lives. Not change because we think their life needs to change, but we bring power, the power of love, into people's lives together, and they are able to see their path, whatever it is. We're all on a different one. You know, everyone has to discover for themselves who and what they are, and begin to walk that out. Begin to walk that out. And the best place to do that is a loving environment, which is what this class is for. Right. And then we begin to move together to change, our town, neighborhood, community with love. Right? With love. We lose the fear. We become it. We recognize our power. We recognize it. And we begin to be moved with divine love to use it for the good of others. And all of the goodies, the things that we want and desire, they just come along with it. They come along with it because we create as we go. We create as we go. And divine love touches us too. So I'm going to unmute yourselves if you'd like to make a comment. I'm going to wait.
Hi, Audrey. It's Claire.
Hi, Claire.
Hey. I like what you said about, like, I'm drawing a blank, but I was talking to morning about how meditation has allowed me to live in joyous expansion and live in the present moment. I used to beat myself up a lot and overthink how I did things in the past, and I would keep revisiting the well in my thinking mind. Mm-hmm. And now I am free of that. And it's such a relief. And anytime that my thinking mind wants to go back to that well, my divine spirit goes, nope, that's not where you live anymore.
Yeah. You don't need it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's great. And it's true. These huge steps like that, we move things out of the way. So there's more room. There's more room for divine expansion. Like something has to go for something else to have a space, right? We choose getting rid of that, adding some goodness, adding some goodness. So I want you all to think about, anyone wants to comment, I'll just prattle on here. And you can comment if you want. I want you all to think about what you're desiring out of this relationship, this journey that you're on. What's it going to look like for you?
I desire to grow more intimate with the discovery of I am, and I feel like in a very providential way that has happened for me. I mentioned before, just from starting out in our relationship, mm-hmm. to being able to even attend the class, and then attend the class. To me, it was powerful because, like, at first, the very first thing I noticed is that, I'm the only one that looks like me, right? So it's just like, I'm not going to be understood in here. This ain't going to be my kind of space. And then, like you were mentioning earlier, that none of that really matters when you're in the source. You know, we happen to be born of different parents, but the substance is the same.
Hmm.
You know,
Yes, it
and
is.
to have this every week, like I often say to my colleagues, you know, wherever I'm at in the world, that this is mandatory for me because it's a grounding, you know, in a world that just wants to continue to push me faster and faster. This is always a grounding for me to be connected on a very intimate level
Hmm.
with would have been strangers, right?
Hmm.
Um, and to be vulnerable and get that back in doses to my spirit, you know. So I'm forever grateful. See, I keep inviting people.
You do. I love you for that. And we all should do that, by the way. Invite people so that other people can evolve and grow if you feel it's of value, right? It's a big circle.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
This is the new person, Jocelyn, the invited guest. Uh, so, first and foremost, I just want to say I'm so grateful to be in this space and so grateful for the invitation. I think one of the things that stood out to me the most about what you shared is really seeing ourselves as divine. And I think divine in everything, right? So in the morning when I go on my meditation walk, it's like I'm thanking the trees and, for oxygen, right? And realizing that that same power and that same gift exists within me.
Hmm.
And so it really makes me think a lot about self love,
Hmm.
right? I think oftentimes in my experience, have seen myself as separate and apart. And the more that I do this work, there's more awareness of how I am, right? And I am that divinity. And so that I also have the power to create because I am it. And so I'm just grateful that this type of community exists. And Naja has been telling me for a while, I'm like, I'm too busy. I'm too busy. And today I was just like, no, I'm meant to be there. So I'm grateful that, there's a group of like-minded people who are looking to not only elevate ourselves, but elevate the world.
Yes, absolutely. And you can always pick it up. The reruns are on YouTube.
Oh, great,
Yeah.
great, great, great.
Yeah, the
Thank
channel
you.
is my name. So there I
Thank you.
always post them and you can watch them there if you missed the class. So
Great. I appreciate that.
um so yeah, I mean we're all moving along together. Oh, Tom has a comment. Tom says accepting that I am the great I am um, has given me the power to help, heal, and love all the people who I encounter every day. I love this class. So, yeah, I mean, all of our lives have changed radically since this class started. I can see that, but it's good to revisit why we're here and where we're going, and that there's a lot of great um, goodness as we go along together. So, in our family here. Ever growing family. So we will go into meditation if everyone is done, and we'll have a meditation sometime on um, maybe some imagery about the secret garden, and then pull you back out, and we'll be set for this week, and we'll see you next week. And just remember, I'm here to support and to love and encourage and send energy. And if you feel that, you're drifting, reach out. There's nothing but love here in me for every one of you. Every one of you. So it's important that we stay in a high vibration together. All right, so you're all muted. Get comfortable. Close your eyes. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, soften your shoulders, kind of sink into your seat. Another big breath. Exhale it out. Now fall into your rhythmic breathing, your regular breath a little deeper in and a little deeper out. Allow the rhythm of that to create quietness inside of you. Allow it to create a space within your heart space. Now image in your mind, you're standing in front of the doorway into the garden of your soul. Standing in the quietness. Connect with the love that's here for you. At the entrance of your heart. Feel it in you. And feel it in the space around you. Now push the door open and enter the garden of your soul. Into the stillness, the lush grass, cool air. Enter in. Feel the love that's here for you. All around you, drawing you in. Touching you and the breeze on your face. Loving you. No rules, no laws, no wrong, no right. Deep, profound love all around you. It's you. The lover of your soul meets you in the garden. You rest here in your oneness. Feel the love all around you. Surrender into the love. It's in you and all around you. It is you. You are a divine miracle, a ray of divine light touching this earth. You are beauty and truth. You are and you create. Receive this truth about you. Beautiful, divine, perfect you. Hear your divine heart speaking. And take a big breath in. Exhale it out. Take a breath in. Become aware of your body, but you don't leave the garden. This is where we live. Just bring your awareness, part of it, to now. And open your eyes. I will see you all next week. If Jocelyn, if you want to be included every week, just get me your email. If you're still here. Not still here. Naja, have her give me her email. You guys have a great week.
Thank you, Audrey.
Love you.
Thanks, sis. Love you.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.